It was supposed to be a quick weekend retreat, a chance for Laura, David, and their closest friends to reconnect after years of drifting apart. The six of them, Laura, David, Kim, Ethan, Mia, and Jake, rented an isolated Victorian mansion deep in the woods. The house was grand but unsettling, its walls adorned with faded portraits of long, forgotten faces that seemed to watch them as they unpacked. "Looks like the perfect spot for a ghost story," Jake joked, his grin faltering as his voice echoed unnaturally in the cavernous foyer. That night, they found a dusty old journal in the library. Its cover was cracked leather, and its pages were filled with spidery handwriting. The entries told of a family who had lived there decades ago and disappeared without a trace. The last entry read, "They whisper to me from the walls. They know I can hear them." The first night passed uneventfully, but by the next morning, things began to change. Kim complained of hearing faint whispers during the night, but no one took her seriously. That evening, as the group played cards in the living room, Laura noticed something strange in the large antique mirror hanging on the wall. At first, it seemed like a trick of the light, but then she saw it clearly, a shadow that didn't belong to anyone in the room, shifting and watching them from the reflection. "Did anyone just see that?" she asked, her voice trembling. But before anyone could respond, the mirror shattered with a deafening crash. The shards scattered across the room, cutting the air like glass knives. As night fell, the house began to reveal its true nature. Ethan woke up to find deep scratches on his arms, as if something had clawed him in his sleep. Mia's phone, the only one with a signal, played distorted voices on its own, whispering phrases like, "Why are you here?" David, the skeptic, tried to calm everyone down. "It's just the old house playing tricks on us. We'll leave in the morning." But the house had other plans. That night, Laura discovered a hidden door in the basement. It led to a narrow staircase spiraling downward into darkness. Against her better judgment, she descended, flashlight in hand. At the bottom, she found a small room lined with mirrors. In the largest one, she saw her reflection smile, only it wasn't her smile. It was wide, sinister, and full of teeth. By now, the group was in full panic. Kim and Ethan wanted to leave immediately, but the front door wouldn't budge. Windows wouldn't break, no matter how hard Jake swung a chair at them. The whispers grew louder, more insistent. "Stay with us." Forever, one by one, the group began to turn on each other. Paranoia crept in like poison, and old grudges resurfaced. David accused Mia of sabotaging their escape. Jake snapped at Kim for panicking. And through it all, the house seemed to feed on their fear. In a desperate attempt to end the nightmare, Laura remembered the journal. She flipped to the last pages, finding instructions for a ritual to seal the house's hunger. It required a sacrifice. "No way," Ethan said. "This is insane. We're not doing this." But as the walls began to bleed and shadows clawed their way across the floor, the group realized they had no choice. In the end, it was David who volunteered. "It's my fault we came here. Let me fix it." The group performed the ritual, chanting the words scrawled in the journal. As the final syllables echoed, David was pulled into the floor, his screams cutting off abruptly. The next morning, the front door finally opened. The remaining 5 stumbled out, dazed and broken. They didn't speak as they drove away, leaving the mansion behind. Weeks later, Laura returned home and found a package on her doorstep. Inside was an old, cracked mirror. As she stared into it, she saw her reflection smile, a wide, sinister smile full of teeth.